What's up, guys? We got a lot to talk about this week. We're talking about the Xbox One S All Digital Edition. Pokemon Go's developer is working on a Harry Potter game. Fortnite dances will live on. And games as a service. You know? When are we going to stop with that? When's it going to end? All that and more. Let's plug in. Okay, welcome back to episode 4, right? Episode 4.
Yeah.
We took last week off because we debuted our new show, Party Chat, which, honestly, I'm very proud of. I think it's going to be the next hit.
I think we need stronger internet connections, or at least I do.
That's why, I made sure to let people know. It's us playing a game, so there's going to be lag. I mean, there's even lag in this. We just edit it,
Oh, yeah. Magic. Whoa.
The power of editing. Sparks is finally back on the show after being away for the last 2 episodes. His voice doesn't sound as bad, I guess, as it did a few weeks ago.
His voice aids is cured. Sorry.
How you feeling? Do you feel good? Yeah, that's a good thing you're not a parent, because that's what happens with kids. So it's a good thing you're not around kids. You're just at a radio station. It happens.
Well, then they get the polio virus, and then they need a wheelchair. It's just bad deal.
All right, let's get into the news. The first bit of discussion for us, the Xbox One S, which they messed up on the naming here because it is the Xbox One S All Digital Edition, but people are going to be calling it the Xbox One SAD. That's just the nature of it. I think Maverick's a better title personally, but
other code names are way better than the actual name of the console.
Discless. You guys don't watch Game of Thrones, otherwise I can make a reek joke here, but you guys don't watch that show.
Sorry, I don't have HBO.
So what we know about this is, it's going to be going on pre-orders in mid-April. It's simply just a Xbox One X that doesn't have a disc drive. So all your games are going to be digital. Sparks, you're upset because you are the physical guy. Are you worried that this is going to be like the trend going forward, that we're finally committing to a all streaming, all digital future?
The Wii U. The Wii.
Jesus Christ, Chance. Yeah, I
seems to be where we're headed.
Here's the problem I have with it, because I have mixed feelings about it, because I like it, because I usually just buy my games digital now. And I understand the idea behind it too. By eliminating the disc drive, you can sell a cheaper console. So then there's more Xboxes in the market, and they can kind of expand that way. But I mean, we haven't had. I feel like I'm over this whole spin-off console nonsense. Just make a console, release it, and just keep updating firmware. I understand their businesses and they want to make money and they want to get. The most popular mind share out there, but it's just like there's too many choices. Just give me an Xbox One, man.
Yeah. Also, Jake, did you say Xbox One X?
It's Xbox One S.
Okay, I thought you said X, and I was like, okay, it's the S without a disc.
And that shit drives me nuts too.
Yeah, because, why?
Like, stick with Scorpio. I liked that name.
Scorpio is cool, man.
No, let's go with Xbox One X. Really fucking lame name. Unless they were thinking of, like, just Xbox.
Well, wasn't the one because of the whole, you can do everything on your entertainment center in one box. Ooh.
Yeah. I get, like, it's just one of those things where it's like, look, Microsoft, I understand you're trying to be different than the PlayStation, but, like, Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox One to Xbox One S to Xbox One X to Xbox One S, all the digital edition. It's just getting ridiculous.
And that's without mentioning all the versions of the 360 there were.
Elite,
The Slim.
Remember when they didn't come with Wi-Fi, like when they first shipped those things?
God. What were they? I can't believe that, well, the price of the console is why they won that generation, but that was a silly whoopsie.
So, if you're a Pokemon Go fan and you like Harry Potter, good news. The Pokemon Go developers, how do we, Niantic
Labs.
They're teaming up with WB Games to make a Harry Potter augmented reality game, Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Chancey's our resident Pokemon Go expert.
I wouldn't call me an expert, but more of an enthusiast.
You're the only one who plays it, goddammit.
I'm sorry. Well, I haven't been on it lately because of how goddamn cold it's been.
It's an interesting thing. I've seen that they don't really have teams, but they have classes. There's Magizoologist, the Professor, the Aurier, I think is what it says. So you're essentially, it's pretty much Fantastic Beasts. There's going to be different animals in the wild in the AR stuff, and you just cast spells to defeat them. I think it's interesting that they went with Harry Potter.
Harry?
I don't know. I never pictured Harry Potter being a Pokemon Go style augmented reality game, but here we are.
Like, what major franchise would work? Well, like, Jurassic World came out with one that's not abysmal. That's the only other one I could think of.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting move because I think, like, I don't know. Clearly, you still play it, so Pokemon Go still has a loyal base. That I have a friend that plays it all the time. So I thought it was interesting that they go a different direction and they choose Harry Potter. But yeah, I thought something like Jurassic Park would work.
Apparently it did. I think the game's pretty popular. I don't know about it right now.
I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm honestly kind of surprised that they're making another AR game because yes, I know, like I said, that there is a loyal base to Pokemon Go. But I just don't know if Wizards United is going to blow up the way Pokemon Go did.
I think it...
I'm going to go with no.
Solid no, Chief? Well, I think it's just like Warner Brothers saw like how much dough Pokemon Go was raking in, especially at the beginning. Just like, you know what? I want a piece of that fucking pie. Let's make our own. Also have them make it.
Yeah, here's money, you do this. We don't know how to do that.
Make a vaguely associated game.
And the last bit of news this episode, Fortnite dance lawsuits are dismissed after, and get this, because I never thought I'd say this headline, after new Supreme Court ruling. Unbelievable.
Oh.
You think your You think your game is big? Your game isn't big until you're on a Supreme Court ruling.
Here is the real breaker in this, though. Is actually had video of what's his face, Carlton, pretty much saying that he made up the dance based on other dances.
Yeah.
You can't copyright that shit, dog.
How do you copyright a dance anyway?
Yeah, I don't know how that whole process works. It is funny because the rappers that are suing them, Alfonso Ribeiro, I think is
Alfonso Ribeiro, yeah.
Ribeiro, yeah, he's the one suing. But all these guys that are suing have just filed resiled suits to get a copyright to the dance. But I don't think you could, like, I don't understand the logistics of this, because how do you copyright something you do with music, like, yeah, with your body to music? Like, how does that even work?
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's just lost in translation.
Yeah.
It's about the way it's phrased.
Yeah, the legal what they I was reading the article about this. The legal definition: a dance move cannot be copyrighted, but if it
okay. So the the boilerplate jargon on this crap is 76 of the Copyright Act has all about stipulations. Is the law differentiates between social dances, which everyone can perform, and choreography, which is performed by an expert, which can be copyrighted.
It's fully choreographed, you can copyright it, which makes sense because it is a routine that was created with multiple moves and choreography. Whereas if you're just busting out a Carlton, somebody can't copyright that.
Yeah, like the emotes are never longer than, what, 10, 15 seconds?
If that.
And
it's not even about how long they are, though.
Well, yeah, but like it's not like the entire Thriller video. It's just like, the arms just going back and forth.
Yeah, but for people who don't have money, even something that looks similar to what they do, it's a chance to make something.
Yeah, it's like the Soulja Boy consoles. If there's a way for these people that have had their 10 seconds of fame to capitalize off it, yeah, they're going to do it. So, yep. So, Fortnite, you can't topple the giant. You just can't.
Unless you're Apex, then you can definitely try it.
Close second, Apex is. Fortnite hopped back up on the charts of like most streamed on Twitch, and that was after Season 8 launched, where they added in the pinging system.
They added in pinging, and I think someone data mined it, where just like, yeah, I think there's a little bus for you to respawn in it now.
Which is like, great, let's just all keep making the same fucking game. That's super fun. So moving on, as all three of us are cheap bastards, we like to help out other cheap bastards. Now, originally we were going to record this on a different day, and I had all the deals ready, but by the time this posts, those deals will be gone. So, I'm just going to mention the free games on each platform. So first, on Xbox, Games with Gold, Adventure Time, Pirates of the what? Sparks?
Enchiridion.
Oh. Well, yeah. I asked Sparks because he said he downloaded it.
Oh.
The Pirates of the Enchiridion, is that what you said?
Yep.
March 1st until the end of this month, it is free Games with Gold. And then Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 from March 16th until April 15th. And then your backwards compatible games are Star Wars Republic Commando. Is free until the 15th. And then Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which isn't a word, is March 16th till the end of the month. Moving on to PlayStation, your PS Plus games, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and The Witness. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Been playing a lot of that, actually.
Really?
And by a lot, I mean I've been playing like 2 or 3 matches here and there. But
gotta get that gold camo.
And I just wrote an article about it up on loudopinionated.com. About honestly, it's refreshing to play this game. It is actually a big breath of fresh air because Modern Warfare was one of the first games I ever played online, and I played that game way too much. I put so much time into that game. And then Modern Warfare 2 was the last Call of Duty game that I bought because I was really bad. I was okay at Modern Warfare. I was doing pretty decent. and then Modern Warfare 2 came out, and I sucked. And I've banished Call of Duty from my life ever since. Unless it's free, unless it's free on PlayStation, then I'll play it.
Because you couldn't get good.
What a scrub.
All right, so those are your deals for the week. Next time we record, I will actually have some good games for you. I will mention that I did pick up Assassin's Creed Odyssey for the Gold Edition, so that's all the DLC and Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered when that comes out for $33 on PlayStation.
I can't believe... Oh, you got it on PlayStation because I saw the Ultimate Edition was available for $40 on the Ubisoft sale on Microsoft. Idiot.
What's the difference between the Ultimate and the Gold Edition?
A few more skins for your ship, I think.
Oh, yeah, okay, because I really care.
Well, also, Jake, since you got the season pass, right?
Yeah, I got all the DLC.
Okay, so the season pass will give you Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered for free when it comes out, later this month.
I just said that.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, that's fucking embarrassing. Let's edit that out.
So the lesson here is we don't actually listen to Jake.
Apparently not.
Well, I was listening to everything. I guess I was getting ready to say, damn, Jake, you could have spent $7 extra for some ship skins.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I haven't played a ton of it, but I haven't been enjoying it.
I have.
It's overwhelming. We gotta stop making games these fucking big, man. It's overwhelming.
Nah, I'm cool with it.
There's too many icons.
We can talk. Oh, there is a ton.
Speaking of a big game with a ton of icons, the Game Pass game that we're playing right now is Just Cause 3.
All right, let's quit the bullshit right now. Show of hands, who's actually playing it?
I played it like a little bit.
I raised my
But
hand.
not as much as I should.
Yeah.
Here's the problem I have with it.
I said I was already playing it in the first episode.
What?
In the first episode, I said I was already playing it.
Yeah, I know. So we knew that you had some background with it, so that's why we picked it. My problem with it is there's a lot of fun stuff to do in it, but I don't care about the story, and I don't care. And it forces me to do all these little menial things to get to the really fun things. And I don't know. It's just not hooking me.
This game for me suffers from what I like to call Grand Theftitis. I don't give a shit about the storyline. I'm just here to fuck shit up.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know what? It kind of it reminds me of like a Batman Arkham City combined with like Crackdown. You're here to zipline, glide about, and blow shit up.
And that's the thing, like the transversal aspect to it, like the grappling hook, and then like parachuting with the grappling hook. All that stuff is incredibly fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is fun to move around the world. It's just everything that's in the world I could not give a shit about. Mm-hmm. There's nothing about that story that's like man, I gotta do, I gotta play this. It's the problem that I have games on my plate like Modern Warfare Remastered, Odyssey. These games that are actually good, really good, that I really want to play. And I'm playing Just Cause 3, and I'm like, this is a solid 7 out of 10.
This is why I actually moved that we pick new games.
All right, fine.
I'll tell you what, boys. I got a doozy.
Oh?
Yep.
Is it Devil May Cry?
No.
What is it?
Alien Isolation.
Oh.
Okay, so if we're going to do that, then Alien Isolation, I'm going to stick with DMC. I'm always going to pick that.
Does that mean I have to pick one, too?
You pick Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Super Lucky's Tale.
Can I just pick Arkham City Remastered since
No.
I technically haven't played it? Boo.
I started it.
I haven't started it. I started Arkham Arkham Asylum remastered. Let me just browse the list real quick.
And everything's exactly the way you remembered it.
Well, if you want, Chance.
Yeah, fun.
If you want to just do it this way, we could just pick between.
Yeah, that's fine.
The two games.
My game already got picked like once, so I'm fine with it.
All right, I'm gonna flip a coin. Heads.
Coin.
Heads will be Alien Isolation. Tails will be DMC. By the way, Devil May Cry apparently is getting great reviews. People really like it.
Number 5 is?
Yep. That's a game. That's a franchise I've never played.
I played 4.
Yeah, I've never touched it. It seemed like a game. Like it just didn't seem like it pulled me in, but maybe it will. All
It's a beat 'em up.
Heads, Alien Isolation. Tails, DMC. It is Tails, DMC. I win.
Sparks just got blue balled again.
Hey, you know what? I actually do want to play Alien Isolation, so I want to see that on the list. It's bound to happen.
Until it comes
until
off
it
of Game
off
Pass.
Game Pass. Then we're screwed. But yeah, DMC,
Idiot.
Devil May Cry, that is the Game Pass game for the month. And I think this will actually help us because this is a smaller game and a more linear game that we could all just play right through and not have to do a bunch of grappling hook nonsense.
By the by, guys, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is off the list.
It's already gone.
Aww.
No, I beat that bitch.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought it left Game Pass already. I was like, well, that was quick.
Nope. I have now beaten the new Tomb Raider franchise.
Damn, boo.
That's something I want to get to. That's on the backlog is to play Rise and Shadow. But
They're both fantastic games.
and I'm sure they are, but like right now I'm really focused on Odyssey. I want to play through that. Mostly because I want to talk to Chance about it and we could do a special episode of Underachievers.
Yeah, we'll talk about the game that came out in October, and everyone's going to make fun of us.
And one of these days I'll be able to talk about Resident Evil.
One
of
of
these nights. Sorry.
All right, it's time. Well, actually, before we get there, I've already said what I've been playing. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a little bit of Modern Warfare Remastered. Chance, anything new you've been playing?
A metric shit ton of Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
And Apex.
And Apex, yes.
And Apex, yes. We still have been
Apex
playing a lot
is
of
so
Apex.
fun. Like,
And in case you guys are wondering how fun it is,
Good.
be sure to check out that game night.
yeah, we need to like. Does Twitch have better recording than Mixer from Xbox?
Here's the problem that, and you're gonna get mad at me, but PlayStation did the right thing, where I can hook up my blue Snowball directly to my console, and I have no problem. But if Xbox, I have to create a workaround to use it. There's a way to use your blue microphone for Xbox, but there's a whole process you have.
Sorry, I fell asleep listening to that explanation. What are you talking about?
Ouch.
I wish Xbox would step into the future. Let's make it functional for keyboard and mouse, but not make it functional for a fucking USB mic. Something that they should have had stock.
Hey, let's add the option to be able to mod games.
Okay, there are valid criticisms of both consoles.
Jesus Christ, Sweden, knock it off.
No, I will never be invaded, and you can't change me.
Oh, you'll get invaded and you'll like it.
Hey, there's a reason why PlayStation is PS4s are almost 100 million copies sold.
Because a bunch of teeny
Units
boppers are too
moved.
fucking stupid to know the better part.
Better exclusives.
I was just gonna say that the thing that PlayStation could improve on, where Xbox could improve on their support of outside. I just realized this isn't a video podcast, so what I did was really stupid. But
Sparks said show of hands earlier.
okay,
You're fine.
but like yes,
I'm sorry, I did it for dramatic effect.
they could improve their support for other people's hardware, But you know what PlayStation doesn't do that Xbox does really well? Their profile sharing on like their not their profile sharing, their cloud. Like I could fucking go like right now to someone's Xbox down the street, sign into my profile, and play my save file. Easy peasy. But you have to deep dive into the settings of a PS4 to do that.
Yeah, there's a little bit more process into it. I personally haven't done it because my friends play on Xbox, so.
Yeah, what this says about your friends?
Yeah, if it weren't for you guys, I would have just the PS4.
You know,
Well, if it weren't for Ashley, you'd just have the Xbox.
Actually, no, I take that back. Game Pass and Xbox Live are the reasons why I have an Xbox. I think those are two really great services. As good as PlayStation Plus is, I think Xbox Live is a better service.
There's a statistic I read somewhere about how many free Games Pass is given away versus the PlayStation service.
The PlayStation Now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing with that is you can get a bunch of like all the PlayStation exclusives for the PS3 are all in there, but you can't download them. There's a whole thing about it. Anyway, Sparks, have you been playing anything fun other than Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
I stopped playing that a while ago. I beat it.
All right, that's good enough for me. Let's move to the main topic of the show. We are talking about games as a service, and spoiler alert, it's not going to be a positive conversation. I have a lot. I'm sure all of us have a lot of shit we're going to say about Anthem. It seems like that's the fun thing to do is pick on Anthem because, well, it's not a finished game, and they shouldn't be charging people $60 for it. So let's just jump into that. Anthem, last week, as if they weren't having enough problems, but people saying it was like vanilla Destiny. There's nothing in it. It's not, not that great. The load times are ridiculous. Well, it was breaking PS4s. It was literally bricking consoles. And BioWare and EA have reached out and they've been working with PlayStation trying to get fixed. But your game should never, ever break a console.
No, unless it's gigantic, but it isn't.
And
Magnum Dong.
What'd you say?
Magnum Dong.
Magnum Dong. Like, Odyssey might brick my Xbox One S. Like, I swear to God, the load times are so long compared to Origins. I'm just like, what the hell? This game is so huge.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. That's crashing your console is completely different than breaking it.
That's something like not the developer, that like the company does to punish you for like modding your console when you're not supposed to.
Well, here's the thing. Anthem has done both. It has one instance where it bricked a console, but it's been crashing them left and right.
And it has been affecting other consoles, but I'm sure though. I pray they get this fixed because now, I mean,
well, it's just showing the PlayStation 4 for what it is, inferior.
Okay. That's actually a huge problem because that is a big player base that you're scaring away from your game. Like, anybody that owns it on a PS4 probably
My God, the 12 to 16 demographic will be horrified.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you play it up that you think Xbox. I don't understand your motives here, but whatever. I'm
calling you a child.
No, you're playing up a character of being an annoying fanboy. That's what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
You think you know.
But that's a big deal because that's cutting out a huge player base, and if you're already getting press where people are saying there's nothing in this game and there's not a lot to it, if you have that and then you have people saying, well, it breaks my console, I'm not going to touch it, is not good for a games as service that like wants your free time. And you have free games like Fortnite and Apex Legends out there, and people still playing Destiny 2, which is clearly what you're going for, is that demographic.
Not even that demographic, specifically that player base.
Yeah.
Right. And it's unabashedly a Destiny attempt or a Destiny killer, you know.
What?
It's the same thing with WoW. There's all these other games when WoW was really big and they kept trying to destroy WoW. It's like, it's not going to happen. There's a reason why those games are where they are, and there's a reason why they work. It's because they've had years of fine-tuning it. Yes, Destiny, when it first came out in 2014, was not a good game. I hated it. I did not like that game. But, you know, when they put more time into it, it became a better game. And that's what I hate about games as a service, is I don't like the idea of saying, oh, hey, guess what? You're a $60 beta tester. The game sucks now, guys, but in like a year, it's going to be real fun.
See what the problem is? Try again. It's not $60. It's $60 for the base game, $30 per expansion.
Yeah. Well, there's the $60 game, then there's the $100 version, the $120 version, and all this other shit.
Yeah, it's like as you go, you're paying to level up the game. You can start with a $60 version, but eventually, if you're an early adopter, this is gonna hurt.
I don't think I've actually paid for $60 for a only multiplayer game. I don't think I have. And this is exactly why.
Well, here's the thing, though. Anthem, like Destiny and The Division, you can play them by yourself. They're just not fun by yourself. It's the game is supposed to shine when you're with friends. And even then, adding more to their problems, even then, I've heard people talking about when they play that game, that they can't even hear their teammates because the audio mixing is too loud, and even when they turn it down, they still can't figure out who's talking and what's going on. And I'm like, I think what well, no, this is what happened. What happened was Andromeda was a flop, and EA was like, we have got to do something, or BioWare was probably with EA, like, we have got to do something to get our names in good graces again. And then they're like, well, let's just get this game out. Instead of taking more time, they're probably like, let's just make as much money as possible we can, throw this out there. If it sucks, they're used to this. We'll say, well, we're patching it, we're working on it, and then they continue to screw people over for having goodwill. Like, it's such a shitty practice. It's such a shitty business. It's ridiculous.
And it's like, you know, one step forward, 100 steps back for EA, because we were like, oh, okay, Apex is launched, everything's going good. Respawn's like, no, EA has no creative control over this. So what do? Is just put Respawn in one hand and BioWare in the other, and just make them fight like your fucking G.I. Joes for the player base. I'll fucking throw DICE in there too, make them fight over a very limited player base.
Oh, God.
Yeah. DICE, do you remember Battlefield? Do you remember?
It's
Battlefront 1 and 2?
So
it's only fitting that DICE gets fucked over by EA this time around. Because EA fucked Respawn for DICE. Now it's only fair that they do it back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1-for-1. Which they did leak details of their Battle Royale, Firestorm. Actually, they put in some systems that are actually pretty cool and do work to differentiate themselves from Apex or Fortnite.
Well, I'm pretty sure the game's only 30, so.
I think the only way that works for Battlefield is if they do what Fortnite did and release that mode for free.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that works. And then you got to hope and pray that it can compete in that market with Apex and Fortnite.
Yeah. But
And that's the thing. We'll get to that
and Blackout.
in a little bit.
Blackout is super popular.
Yeah, Blackout's still pretty popular. And I got to say, as a Fallout fan, it is nice to see a different games of service get just annihilated on Reddit and Twitter and dragged through the mud, because Fallout 76, very similar situation. It was a game that clearly Bethesda didn't have a lot of faith in, continually said, oh, don't worry, this will probably suck, but we have other good games in the pipeline, trust us. They just shove it out there, and it's a heaping pile of trash. And
okay, I will say to their defense, though, the time span that they released that game within, I can't fault them. Because it was like, 1 month they said, hey, we're going to release Fallout 76 during E3. And then like 3 months later, it's out.
It was November.
They announced it.
I think.
Well, no, but I think he's talking about like
the reveal. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it was like a month before E3 they did their like 24-hour Twitch stream, and then and put up the trailer. So yeah, I commend them for that release window, but the game was just not ready, and I think that was a sign to them too that game engine, they need to just scrap that game engine and get a new one, because it cannot handle a single player experience, let alone a bunch of players.
Haven't we been saying this in Skyrim?
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online, boys.
We've been saying that for 8 years that they need a new engine. It's ridiculous. And I will give them props, though. Bethesda still think, they're still supporting it. There were rumors that it was going to be free to play, and that was like in January, and I was like, wow, a couple months, and they're already going to just screw over those people that actually.
Oh my god!
It's not bad enough that they do the stupid thing with the bags. It's not bad enough that they dox these people on accident. Then they're like, oh, by the way, anybody wants to play it, it's free. Like, that would be such a shitty move on Bethesda's part. But yes, Sparks wrote a joke in the notes. Last player in the Wasteland revealed to find he's playing a single-player adventure.
Was it?
Was that from?
It was from the Onion, right?
Onion?
Or Clickhole?
One of those two.
There was the Onion.
As I say, I've seen that. It was a funny article.
It was funny as hell. What's the title?
That was the headline.
Yeah, the headline
was last player in Wasteland relieved he's playing a single player game. They're still supporting it, so I'll give them props for sticking with it. But maybe it's a No Man's Sky thing. But I go back to the thing I said to start the topic. Why the fuck are we giving these games passes like that? Well, it's good now. It's like, well, why wasn't it good when you fucking released it?
Promises.
See, here's my problem in all of this, and I think that EA could take a lesson from this. Is everybody's chasing that dragon of trends. Instead of being the trailblazers, they're just following the trends. Hey guys, battle royales are super popular, so what we gotta do is we gotta go out and release a fucking battle royale. And we're gonna fucking try to get on the train before it's gone. So we're gonna leave a half-baked game and then look like idiots. Instead of shutting their fucking mouths and just working on tried and true things.
Well, it's funny, the whole kickoff of this battle royale genre, I'm stupid. PUBG.
Yeah.
Player.
Right.
It's like, their game was so unfinished and so unready. And Epic Games drops in with this, well, no one's buying our really overcomplicated Defender game.
That took years to make.
It's way too complicated. You guys just want to make it a battle royale for the fuck of it? Yeah. And they just stumbled upon it.
Well, but isn't it? But isn't H1Z1?
Oh yeah, H1Z1 DayZ. That's true.
It's nuts that we live in this world, and I think games as service has been around on PC forever, but Destiny I think is the prime suspect to do it on consoles. That being said, even though it took a lot of updates and changes for like people to really come around on Destiny and really get behind it, I still think there was a ton of stuff in vanilla Destiny. It just didn't hook me like they tried to. You know what I mean? Like I did not give a shit about the lore, and then the fact that like, oh well, if you want to know more about the lore, go to our website and read these engrams. I'm like, well, no, make it accessible in the game so I can read it in the game. Why would I leave the game to go look at shit on your website? That's no.
Make it a collectible I can find. Damn it.
Well, see, the one that kills me is honestly the kings of games as a service, fucking Blizzard. They've mostly been unheard from in all of this. Up until their release for Diablo Online.
Are you talking about the Diablo
It's
Diablo
so
Immortal?
stupid.
Can talk.
You call it what you want.
Well, that's the mobile game.
Diablo.
Yeah, their fucking mobile version, which, holy shit, I've never seen a shitstorm that bad immediately.
They brought it on themselves. They hyped it up to make it seem like Diablo 4. That's
Which would have been amazing.
yeah. Well, you're right. Like WoW is the model of a game as a service.
And then on top of that, games of service, they went out and they killed Heroes of the Storm.
By the way,
It's dead.
WoW is still going strong and it is 15 years old.
Well, because there's an expansion every, 3 or 4 years?
By its age, WoW is now a nerdy teenager learning to play WoW.
Yeah.
You were saying something before I mentioned WoW, the age.
They pulled the plug. Which is weird because that was
Oh
actually
yeah,
successful.
they killed it. They laid off people that worked on it. Yeah, Activision laid them off. Yeah, I mean that's the crazy thing is you know those layoffs that happened to Activision. Now I think it kind of gives people a perspective on just how business works in a market, you know, like like a capitalistic world, because Activision is still a giant. Like they still have Call of Duty. They're still putting out tons of big games, but they still had to lay off people, and they still have services. Well, they did anyway, like Destiny. I don't know how that works now that Bungie split off.
It doesn't. Bungie owns Destiny. The end.
Yeah, but I'm sure there was some sort of pay.
No,
there had to be a payout of some sort.
Yeah, Bungie bought themselves out.
Yeah, well, they bought themselves out of their contract?
Yeah.
Okay. That works. Yeah. But that just to me says a lot about
Wow.
games of service like Anthem and Fallout 76, where say what you will about vanilla Destiny, there was PvP, there was PvE, there was still a lot of stuff to do. There just wasn't a lot to. I don't like the notion of these games where they say, "Oh man, you know the game's fun and all, but you play the real game in the end game when you're level when you hit 20, and then you can go for the end game gear." I'm like, no, you can go fuck yourself. If you're trying to tell me that a game that would take 12 to 14 hours to get to that level isn't the game, and then when I get that part, then that's the game. No, fuck you. The game is the game.
Clearly, the idea of Destiny is lost on you because the whole idea is grinding.
It's just what WoW was. It's grind to get better gear to keep going, and it's an endless loop of shoot and loot.
Everything up till is the grind.
Well, Jake.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, talk about the grind. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is such a grind. Holy shit!
Oh, I can tell. Again, I haven't played very much of it, and I already can tell that.
This is like playing fucking Borderlands. Yes, it's fun, but honestly, the most fun you're ever gonna have is going after the awesome guns.
That's fine, but I want an end. That's the problem with games as a service to me, is it demands too much of my time, and it demands me to just pretty much do only that. Don't have a social life. Don't go to work. Just play this fucking game until your eyes bleed. That's all they care about.
Here's the thing: the end is where you want it to be.
True.
You can hang it up whenever you want to.
True. You're right. I could put the controller down whenever I want. You're right. But
You could finish the story and go, well, that's it. Somebody else is gonna go, well, fuck that. I want better guns. I want to go kick this ass game, which is where the ideas like New Game Plus comes in.
right, but it's even amped up even more because a lot of times you just respawn outside of a room and go in and attack and attack and attack and attack and then get your gear, go back, rinse and repeat. I don't. That kind of loop does not appeal to me. Right. It's for some people love it, but to me, why do that when I could spend 5 hours fucking up people in ancient Greece, like with Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Like, what? It's to me, it's kind of cocky in your games mechanics to be like, well, not cocky. Sorry. It's confident. it's confident in the mechanics to be like, you're gonna want to keep playing this same shit over and over and over and over again because it's that good.
But a lot of these games, they don't even go with that. That's how it happens. Borderlands is the exact same way. You can play through, go back and play the legendary modes, and that's fine. But it appeals to the people who want to be better. Some people, games are disposable. You go in, you play your story, you're done.
Right. And I think that
The completionists, though. The completionists and the warriors, though, they're going to want to keep going.
The trophy hunters, the achievement hunters, the guys like that, platinuming and all that stuff, they're going to want to do things like that, and they're going to want to have all that. I get that. But I think that's why I latch on to single-player games more than I do than these games, because I like a definitive end. I like that I don't have to really experience it. I got to get the best gear,
Well, okay, let's posit it this way. When you hit the end of the storyline for Red Dead Redemption 2, what did you do?
Well, yeah, I kept playing, but I was doing side missions and things like that because I wanted to be in that world, right?
What does it matter? The story's over.
There was still other story to be had. There were still other side stories.
It doesn't matter. The penultimate tale is over.
Not really, because spoiler, you play as John Marston. So no, I understand what you're getting at here. I do get what you're saying, where it's a similar idea to once you beat a game, like an open world game, and there's other shit, you still go and play it because you like it.
If I may, it's kind of like it's like Red Dead Redemption when you're done. It's similar to where you beat Arkham City, but I gotta go fuck up the Riddler real quick, and then we're done.
Yeah, there's other crimes going on and all that stuff.
Or I gotta go jump in my tank and fight Deathstroke.
Tank.
Sure. Say what you will.
But even beyond that, like Destiny, the great appeal was getting through the story, building up your light level and your gear, and then going and doing the raids. Because the raids are fun. And it's a great social event.
I think it goes back to me just being grouchy because there's so many great games and I want to play them, but they're all expensive and they're all fucking huge. You're afraid that you don't have enough time to play them. I think that's probably my big issue.
The thing that kills me here, Jake, is you're the one who buys games more than me and Chance combined.
Hey, if a good game is on sale, why not?
Yeah.
We have bills to pay.
I do too. Let's keep this conversation going. So,
oh my God.
Up there with free-to-play battle royale, I think the big buzzword is roadmaps, because now every fucking game has to have a roadmap of release.
Is this a criticism of Odyssey? I'm just curious.
Well, it is a bit. I think it is and it isn't, because Odyssey, what isn't, like the Division 2, blatantly at E3, and sure, it's free stuff they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Good, that's fine. But they already have a roadmap of like, this is how we're gonna support the game throughout the year. Apex Legends did the same thing when it launched. Anthem, pretty much any game with a multiplayer aspect to it now is like, well, here's the roadmap. Here's what we're doing. I like the idea of transparency, but I don't know. It's just like, it's like, do we need all these roadmaps? Do we need all of this stuff?
I don't know. It's just nice to know what's coming. I'm okay with Assassin's Creed doing it. Well, I had a funny analogy first. This is kind of like episodic gaming's stupid cousin. But I'm okay with Assassin's Creed doing it because there is no 2019 Assassin's Creed title. So if they're going to stretch out their content for a whole year, I'm okay with it.
Well, okay, let's simplify this idea and backtrack it a little bit. I'd say your precursor to roadmaps is pretty simple. It was called the Season Pass.
Right. And I hate that too.
But the problem is with the Season Pass is you pay up front for a complete unknown.
Yeah. Well, and that goes to what I said, where I do like the transparency of it. I do like the fact that they're pretty open.
That's not transparency, though. That's bullshit.
What are you saying? No, I was saying roadmaps are transparency. Season pass aren't.
I'm saying season passes
Yeah,
are
yeah.
bullshit.
I agree with you. Sorry, I should have clarified. Yes, roadmaps are good because of the transparency. But yeah, it's just you're right. It's how industries work. This is how gaming, movie, anything where everything works in a circle. Everything's a cycle.
Well,
But
sorry.
last time
But
it was season
that's
pass.
okay.
Now it's roadmaps. Same idea. Just now they're
Better.
just being upfront with you.
See, but if you told me right now when I bought Resident Evil 2 that I knew that they were going to release an additional challenge mode in 2 months, I'm okay with
Oh,
this.
you mean the Survivor thing?
Well,
Anything. If they're going to release Mercenaries mode.
more to that point. Oh, sorry, Jake.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say more to that point. This is an improvement on the season pass format because you're just like pre-order now with the pre-order the season pass and get this 5-second expansion. Is like, oh cool, what DLC am I gonna get with the season pass? Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, that's why the season passes were bullshit.
I think they've learned from that with roadmaps because when they say these things, a majority of it is free. I think all of it is free. I can't speak to Anthem. I'm sure it is, but Fallout 76, God bless them, they released a roadmap, and everything is free. And Division 2, like I said at E3 when they announced it, they said all of this is free. Apex, Fortnite, all their seasons are free. So that's not a bad thing.
Here's my question to them though. This is what you're going to release in the months to come. What am I paying for What am I paying $60 for up front?
That's my issue too, and I think that's initially why I'm against it. Is that where? And I said the same thing about Spider-Man when they're like, "Oh, there's this DLC packs and the game wasn't even out yet," and I'm like, "What are you trying to tell? Are you like exactly? Just give it to me now." And yes, I understand the idea that you want to retain a player base, but if you put this much content into your game, wouldn't you still have that player base anyway? Because they're still trying to find all this, do all these missions, explore all this shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I think this is where the delineating line between the season pass and the roadmap comes out. Because if you look at, like, say, the release of Arkham City. So we had a complete game out the box, right out the gate. We're done. I will take that game exactly as it is, the way it was released. It was perfect. Mm-hmm. And then as we went along, they released other episodic missions or challenge maps.
Yeah, it was mostly challenge maps, and then I want to say it was a full 8 months after release that Harley Quinn's Revenge came out.
With the Game of the Year edition.
Yeah.
I think the reasoning behind that was because it's after the main story, and I think they wanted people to play the game. But 8 months sounds kind of crazy, but I get that aspect to it. Yeah, I want to say this now. Rocksteady made the best Batman games out there, but Telltale's Batman's actually pretty good. But I would say that the Arkham games are fantastic games, should be held up in high regard in the superhero genre. That being said, their DLC packs fucking suck. I don't know what they put their money into, but that $40 season pass, which I knew I wasn't going to buy out of the gate, was fucking garbage. You're telling me I'm spending $40 for a pretty decent-sized Batgirl story, but a couple of side missions here and there, and mostly just skins for a Batman. It sucked. It was terrible.
Season of Infamy could have been in the game.
Exactly.
Fucking stupid.
And don't you dare bring up Cold Cold Heart, because that was an Arkham Origins DLC.
It was good, though.
Yeah, what?
It was great. I loved it.
Also not Rocksteady.
No, that was Montreal.
Yep.
Yeah, that was WB Montreal. So, to put a bow on this conversation,
Yeah.
do we think that with the huge misstep of Anthem and Fallout 76, do we think that the trend is ending? We're going to stop seeing games as a service as a genre in games?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Why is that?
First off, and I'm going to put it really simply, because I'll bet money that it happens. Anthem 2.
Anthem 2? I don't know about that because after all this shit came out about Anthem, just conveniently, you see an article pop up that says BioWare's like, "Hey, we're not done with Mass Effect. We never said that." And before the game comes out at the Game Awards, they announce, "Oh, Dragon Age 4." Like,
okay, to be fair, we've been waiting on that one.
well, BioWare is a big company, but I think they're gonna try and fix what they have with Anthem, and then they're gonna go in do what Bethesda did, and go in a direction and go to franchises that people like, just to get people's goodwill back.
By the by, if you assholes haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition, get on it.
I think it's like $5 or something right now.
Doesn't matter. It's fucking good.
I gotta beat Odyssey.
It is an Odyssey.
Dude. Here's the thing. You love Mass Effect. You should easily love Dragon Age.
The Dragons.
Yeah, but I already have a swords and sandals RPG style game right now with Odyssey.
Oh my god.
Yeah, completely different.
I think you would like Odyssey, Sparks.
I'm sure I would. I'm still working on Syndicate.
I will say, though,
Syndicate, holy
shit. Chance, are you having this problem? I want to know if it's just a performance thing with my PS4, but get your joke in now, Sparks.
Oh my god, the PlayStation's having performance issues.
Nope, your time had passed. The joke will be struck from the record.
Look at a little blue pill. How will those performance issues? Low T? More like low P.
I'm editing this show, damn it, and I will cut you out.
I am God, and you will respect me.
No,
Go ahead.
Joke's on you. I'm actually keeping the blooper reel.
If this is a common thing, but like the character animations when you get into dialogue is really wonky. Like, not Andromeda, but I just think some of their animations are a little weird.
Yeah, some of it, like, has your dialogue been like just kind of like a second off to where it's infuriating?
And he and then he'll do like a movement or something.
Yeah. Are you playing as Alexios or Cassandra?
Alexios.
I'm doing Cassandra because Cassandra's voice acting is a lot better than Alexios's.
Oh yeah. I could already tell that Alexios guy was phoning.
Was that dude drunk? What the hell?
Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Chance, do you think the trend will end?
I think it'll either die or someone's gonna do it right, and it will never die. I
agree. I'm playing devil's advocate because I kind of agree with both of you. Where I see where Spark's getting at, and I see this. I see Destiny 3, and I see Bungie keeps working on Destiny games and making great games like that, and those games will be successful and they'll work.
Okay, let's put this even simpler. We just said the Warcraft turned 15. Games as a service won't die. It'll always be here.
In terms of shooters on a console,
yeah, on the console, yeah.
Overwatch is gonna be around for a while.
Yeah,
true. But that's the thing. I think there's a difference here. I think battle royales are kind of the heroes in this situation, where you have Fortnite and Apex that are free versus Anthem in the Division 2. Where these games are $60 experiences, where you have Apex and Fortnite, when you're like, why play this buggy mess when I can just play this game that's pretty adequate, does this job for $0, and I can have fun with it.
You know what's the sad irony in this?
What?
Do you want to guess why Fortnite got as big as it did?
Just its uniqueness.
It's unique, it's free, and as much as people hate it, that building mechanic was really innovative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they got lucky on how well that jives with the Battle Royale. Because I bet they spent a while developing it for, like, no one to play it. And they're just like, you know what? This would be really fun in a Battle Royale.
If we could build shit in PUBG, that'd be super fun. And then,
Apex won't do it. PUBG won't do it. It doesn't matter.
Right. Well, it's the same thing with Apex. It's like, what would make Overwatch more fun if we made it a battle royale game.
Also, the one thing that's kept Fortnite going is them keeping the game fresh between seasons.
Right. constant updates, and then taking time, the seasons coming out, and
But not even updates,
say,
the changes they make.
right, they actually listen to their players.
Like they completely have been revamping the map entirely.
Yeah.
Adding vehicles, changing things, doing seasonal stuff. Yeah, that's how they're gonna keep.
They vault and unvault weapons all the time too.
Yes, I will say right now,
But-
understandably, it just rolled out. I'm getting kind of tired of the Apex map.
Well, this is the thing, Sparks. This is what's so crazy about this, and this is, I think, what's nuts, is the game is only a month old.
I copped to that right off the top. So I understand it's new, but
But how did you not say that about Fortnite?
I didn't.
When you first were playing it?
The Fortnite map was interesting enough, and as a group, we were having fun with it. Every area was that unique. It's like, hey, we want to go to Tomato Town, or we want to go to the swamp.
I would like to point out that, just to be fair to both of you, we started playing Fortnite in season 3? Would you 2 or 3? The map was much less. There wasn't as many fun things to do in season 0 in Fortnite, and Apex Legends is in season 0 right now. So I will give them the benefit of the doubt.
Sure. I'm not saying they're garbage. I'm saying at this exact point, they're the lack of variety in their map, to the degree that Fortnite is, kind of makes it bland to me.
Well, I guess because in season 0 there was no Tilted Towers. I don't think there was Tomato Town. There wasn't. I don't think Pleasant Park was. There was no Anarchy or Snobby Shores or anything like that. So yeah, there is room to improve. I definitely, and I hope they do, because fucking Epic Games has given them such a great roadmap of what to do as a developer to keep your game fresh and keep your player base around. So,
but I think we're overlooking something else too. I think this was a strategic move by EA. I think clearly the game is ready. The game works just fine. People have crashes here and there. That's gonna happen.
Sure, it's a perfectly good Overwatch clone.
It's a very good free game, and I do understand what you're saying. But that's crazy how fast things move, because people might already be getting bored of it, and it's only been out a month. But I want to see something different, and hopefully down the line they'll do something where it's, and I talked about it with Modern Warfare Remaster when I was going back and I was playing that, and I was like, man, I remember playing, I understand how innovative that multiplayer was and how everybody copied it, because you had things, and I'm not saying add classes and all this stuff, but I'm saying add map variety, add the ability to vote for a map so you can build strategies on how you want to do the Battle Royale on this map, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So add different layers like that to keep things fresh. I think that's
I think there's that. I think, granted, yes, you can eventually unlock them on your own. I don't appreciate putting characters behind a paywall.
Yeah, and I don't like the idea that
you get it at level 23.
Yes, I get that, and that's well and fine. But that means that by the time I get level 23, I'm already at a disadvantage.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of depends on, are you...
it's like classes in a multiplayer game where, you're playing, if you're in Call of Duty and you're level 9, you go up against a level of 40, dude, you're fucked, because he has so much better equipment than you.
Theoretically.
Well, yeah, everything. Well, like on the Battle Royale thing, everyone's even, because,
And that's why this
you gotta go find yo shit.
That's why this isn't a Battle Royale.
Except for the characters.
There is no level ground here.
Pseudo Battle Royale. Fine, what do you want from me?
It's a MOBA.
So let me ask that question. So if we think that games as a service aren't going to leave, do we think that Battle Royales aren't going to leave? Do you think that
I think they're a passing fad.
I think there's only honestly, as much as people like Apex, and who knows what they're going to do down the road, but I think Fortnite is the only game that will survive that. When the purge happens and we get rid of all these Battle Royale games, I think Fortnite is the undisputed king of all this.
Well, you know what's going to happen, right?
What's that?
it's not going to go away until it's dethroned by an equally annoying trend.
True.
But
True.
it'll never have the backing that Fortnite got. Because when Drake played with Ninja, it was over.
Well, it's make the second coming of Minecraft is what it is. Like once the kids get into it and it becomes uncool and like you see third graders doing the dances, you know you've hit it big and you're just milking the cash cow until it's dead. But like, it's just, you might hate it, but it's here to stay. And, you know.
Whereas I agree that games as a service is dwindling as well, Battle Royale. But it's like I said, you're going to have your Destinies, you're going to have your Fortnites that are still in the genre and dominate the genre for a reason.
Yeah.
Honestly, I look at it the way that I looked at Angry Birds. It hasn't hit mass. It hasn't hit critical mass for annoying until you see it on T-shirts at Walmart.
Or there's a cartoon about it. I'm waiting for that Fortnite cartoon.
Until the llama gets its own movie.
Dude, Keanu Reeves can play John Wick in a movie that's not John Wick. You're not seeing the upside.
I think that's all we can say about games as a service this week. What do you guys think? Do you think Anthem can make a comeback? Let us know in the comments wherever you listen to this. Well, I guess it'd have to be on YouTube because you can't really comment on podcast services. Why isn't that a feature? That should be one. Think about it.
Wow.
I'm just rambling. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of The Underachievers right here on loudandopinionated.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And
hey, guess what, guys?
Sparks,
guess what, guys? Jake got us on Google Podcasts. He just wanted us to let us know repeatedly.
And you know what I did? Nothing. It just showed up there one day.
Should we call the police? Because I sound like we should call the police.
Follow us on social media at Under A Games on Twitter, Underachievers Games on Facebook. You can follow Loud and Opinionated on Facebook, Loud and Opinionated on Twitter, at Loud Opinionated. All that good stuff. We write articles on loudopinionated.com occasionally when we feel like it. And we put reviews up there as well. Thank you so much for listening. And most importantly, Sparks, what do we tell the people?
Game on.